Authenticity is whenever you're in this circle, you're being true to yourself. Relatability is whenever you're in this circle, you're connecting to the other person. This is the sweet spot. It's where you want to be operating in. Every time you're outside of this sweet spot, it's not going to work. So let's take the example of someone who's outside the sweet spot. This is the person who's like, you know what? I heard that I should be authentic. You might go out tonight and think, I feel a little crazy. I heard this advice. You got to be the life of the party. I feel crazy. This is authentic to me. I'm going to run to the bar, grab a beer, pour it all over my head. It's me being me. I heard, be authentic, right? Am I being authentic? Yeah. Is it being relatable? Is it connecting? No. So you lose. You're still being authentic, but you're not in the sweet spot. It's also the person who might be hearing advice like, you know what? Tell people the truth. Show people who you truly are. And they might meet someone that they find attractive. They're like, this is a perfect opportunity of a partner. Let me share all my fucking baggage in the first 5 minutes. Is that person being themselves? Are they telling the truth? Yes. Is it going to creep the other person out? Yes. Okay. It's authentic, but it's not relatable. On the flip side, if you're relatable but not authentic, what do you become? The people pleaser. This is the person who compromises what's going on inside, who say yes when they mean no, who say no when they mean yes. It's the person who's just always agreeable. And we think that this will get people to like us, but it's the opposite. If you become a people pleaser, you become extremely boring, and what do you actually become? A mirror for that other person. No one wants to talk to a mirror. So catch yourself, okay? We tend to be on one side of the spectrum. If you're going out and everything that the person says, you're like, oh, that's great, that's great. Okay, the most extreme example is someone who repeats what the other person said. You might have some friends like that. You go out and you're like, oh man, I went out last night, it was awesome. And what do they say? Oh, you went out last night? It was awesome? You're like, yeah, I just said that. Oh, you just said that? It's like, ugh, it's the worst, okay? So this is a fail, this is a fail, this is where you want to be. Now, understanding this, it goes a little deeper. When it comes to authenticity, it's never just one thing. We tend to simplify it. Me being authentic is just doing this. It's me pouring the beer over my fucking head. No, that could be authentic in the moment, yes, but there are other things that you can say or do that are also still authentic. So the way I view it is it's like playing the game Battleship, where you go up and whenever you meet someone new, never compromise your authenticity. You always start there. So you might start off with saying a certain joke. And then you look if it connects to that person. Look at their reaction to the joke. Don't just go blindly. Don't be like, I'm being authentic, that's all I'm doing. Look if they're connecting. If they aren't, that's fine. It just means you fucking missed. And what do you do then? You calibrate. You don't double down, you switch it up. And then you might try something else. Ooh, let me tone it down a little bit. It wasn't appropriate to this context. What about this joke? No. What about this joke? Bam! And you sink the ship. Now you're operating in that sweet spot. Get in the habit of calibrating. Go in, always be authentic, but realize that oftentimes you must calibrate until it connects with that person. Okay, and this is also where sometimes those frame battles come into play. Now, this sweet spot doesn't remain static. Okay, there are two things that will allow it to say, grow. Okay, can you guess what those two things are?
Motion.
Value and comfort. Okay, the more value you have in that person's eyes, the more will be relatable. The more comfort you have with a person, the more will be relatable. If we take that example of unloading all the baggage, if it's someone you just met within 5 minutes, there's zero comfort. It's not appropriate to be like, so you know when I was a child, fucking this horrible thing happened. They're gonna be like, what the fuck? But if you spend a considerable amount of time with them, or say even a few months, now it becomes appropriate and it is relatable to unload that baggage. But not in the very beginning. In terms of value, it's the same thing. So you do have some control over this as well. Don't just accept it as being static and be like, oh shit, trying to find it. It's like, also work on expanding it by cultivating value and building comfort. Okay? Now, there are also some times though, and this is very important, where these two circles don't overlap. Where no matter what you do, you calibrate, you calibrate, you calibrate, there is no sweet spot. And that is normal. This is unfortunately what we tend to interpret as a social rejection. And then we take it to heart and we believe that there's something wrong with us. We reinforce that belief that, oh, I'm not good enough, I guess I am stupid. No, it just means that you're not meant to get along with that person. If all of you right now, like say you met everyone in this room, are you going to like everyone in this room equally? No. Yes. Someone's like, yes. No, the answer is no. There's some people you're just going to connect with more than others. And that's normal. And it doesn't mean that that other person did something wrong. Sometimes there's just no chemistry. Sometimes like, we just don't mesh. I wish you well. That's going to happen. Let go of that lie that we're conditioned to buy into, which is, I'm meant to get along with everybody and everybody's meant to get along with me. Bullshit. The day everyone gets along with you is the day you've become the fakest piece of shit on earth. That is the only way, is to compromise that authenticity and just be some kind of weird chameleon, just always people-pleasing and never being yourself. And that'll eat you up inside. It's natural for you to not get along with people. Accept that as a truth and be okay with it. Going out and socializing isn't trying to accumulate all these people to like you. It's sorting through people and finding the ones you're meant to get along with. Okay? Now, in terms of expanding this sweet spot, you must also learn how to build comfort with someone. And how do you build comfort? By going through shit together. The more you go through together, the more there is comfort. The more topics you go through, the more emotions you go through, the more environments you go through, that builds comfort. It's not even necessarily what you say. You know, say I pair two of you together, you don't know anything about each other. You don't know each other's names, nothing. And I'm like, you two, you're going on a one-day adventure. And it's going to be this crazy adventure in the jungle. You're going to have to help each other up, climb fucking cliffs and shit. But there's one condition. You're not allowed to say a single word to each other. Now guess what? Two strangers thrown in the jungle. Your fucking lips are sealed. You're like, fucking climb. You're helping each other. Guess what? At the end of that day, is there going to be a lot of comfort? Yeah. Yes, because you've been through a lot together. So whenever I meet someone new and I want to build this comfort, I'm going to do that. I'm going to go through a wide range of emotions. The more emotions you go through, the more there is comfort. The more it builds that togetherness. The more topics you go through, the more it builds that togetherness. And this goes against mainstream advice. You know, we think, oh, to build comfort, I must have this very deep, in-depth conversation about something. Let me find the commonality. Oh, you like math? I like math too. Let's spend an hour talking about math. 2 + 2 is 4, and 4 + 4 is 8. And you think that the more you talk about math, the more in depth you go, the more comfort there is. No, this will actually do more harm than good. If you spend 1 hour talking about one thing with someone, you become that one topic person. And there might even be some resistance to then talking to you again, because there's the fear where it's like, well, we kind of exhausted that topic. Can we talk about any other topic together? I don't know. Might be awkward. Fuck that person. So what I do when I meet someone new is I will talk about a lot of different things. I focus on the width, not the depth. Okay? The more topics. And I'll go fucking fast. I'll even interrupt previous things that I was saying, and I'll just like stack the width. Like, hey, how's it going? Are you from Vegas? Ooh, interesting. What's your favorite movie? Boom, boom, boom. Right? There's already 3 things. Do you speak English? There's some random questions. And talking, like going through different topics, it doesn't have to necessarily be this long story. It could be a question. You know, we hate questions. We think, oh, asking questions, it's very needy. No, it depends the place it's coming from. There's a difference between, shit, I don't know what to say. I want this person to like me. Do you like math? As opposed to, do you like math? Do you like math? Taking. Do you like math? Offering value. You can offer value with a question. It's in the vibe. It's not the words. So I'll do that. And guess what? I'll also keep it interesting by interrupting it. We're very ADD. You know, the best movies to watch to model your conversations after are the Avenger movies. If you saw the last two Avengers, Endgame and Infinity War, why are those movies so captivating? Assuming you found those movies captivating. I thought they were extremely captivating. I was glued to the edge of my seat, like, oh my God, I can't go to the fucking bathroom because it was so captivating. Why? Yes. It's a concept called multiple threading. There are different threads going on at the same time. There's 3 heroes here, 3 heroes there, 3 heroes there. You start by seeing the first 3. You're like, whoa, that's cool, fucking Spider-Man and shit. And then after a couple minutes, because we're also ADD, we're like, well, I've seen enough of Spider-Man. Kind of getting bored. Boom, switches over here. Here's fucking Hulk. You're like, oh, new characters in a new fucking environment. Back to Spider-Man. Oh shit, now you're in space. And it's just this constant back and forth, cutting. You're just like, oh, you never get bored. That's how you do it. Do that in your conversations. Instead of being very linear, logical, like story number 1, story number 2, switch it up. Interrupt yourself. Like literally, if you go up, you're like, excuse me, are you from Vegas? Before they even respond, do you like the Avenger movies? Done. That is extremely captivating. And then even before they respond there, I'd be like, actually, you know what? Never mind. Julia, nice to meet you. That is a fucking amazing open. There's a fuck ton of comfort there. And it's interesting. It's captivating. Now, here's another thing that you can do to add some of that, you could say, spice. Okay? Interrupt yourself, but also be a little illogical. Go from one thing to something completely out of left field. This will create what we call an emotional spike. It doesn't have to be saying crazy shit. That's what we think, oh, I got to go really crazy to have a spike. No. Just do things that are unexpected, that kind of disrupt someone's logical mind. If you go up to someone, you're like, hey, nice to meet you. Are you from Vegas? Cool, Julia, nice to meet you. What do you eat for breakfast? That'll do a spike. Is there anything in the content that's crazy? No, it's just unexpected. There's no tie. It's like, wait a minute, how do we jump from that to breakfast? And I'll jump back and forth. And then, of course, the more value you have, the more it widens up too. What constitutes value in an interaction? 3 things. Fun, carefreeness, and passion. That's what has value. Of course, you can get more detailed and then cater it to that specific person and their lifestyle, where if you have something that can help them with their job or access to different things, or again, you can use the concept of social proof and stuff like that, that will also increase it. But at a basic form, it's in the vibe. When you talk to someone, we're always scanning for this. We're like, are they having fun? Are they carefree? And is there some kind of passion? And if you have that, people will gravitate towards you. Why? Because everyone wants to have more fun. Everyone wants to be more carefree, less fucking stuck up. Stop caring so much and being worried all the time. And everyone's missing passion. Very few people have passion in their lives. Very few people are part of something that excites them. Most people, they live very boring lives. They wake up in their boring house or boring apartment, they eat their boring fucking breakfast, reading their boring newspaper, then they get in their boring car on their boring commute to their boring job where they sit there with their boring coworkers, do boring work all day, have a boring lunch, get out of work, get back in their boring car, come back, put some boring stuff on TV, and have boring dreams at night. That's their lives, on repeat. And if we see someone who's excited about something, we just gravitate towards them. It doesn't matter about what. Like, I could be up here talking about how to make rugs, and if I'm really into it, even though you don't give a fuck about rugs, you'll just like being around that energy. This is also why podcasts are so popular, right? The Joe Rogan Experience. Is there some cool shit on there? Yeah, but there's also a lot of fluff. Why do we like it? Because of how it makes us feel. Okay? And we want to be around that. So fun. Learn how to self-amuse. Learn how to push your own buttons. Don't depend on others to have fun. It must be self-generated. These 3 things, you must self-generate them. The fun, carefreeness, and passion. And funny enough, by doing so, by giving yourself those 3 things, it takes away all neediness in an interaction. Because ask yourself, why is there the neediness? You think that if this person likes you, then you'll finally feel good. Instead, make yourself feel good first. And now there's no neediness. In terms of also having interesting conversations, it sounds very dumbed down, but this is the best advice. live a more interesting life. Okay? And we take this too far. We're like, an interesting life costs millions. No. An interesting life just means start disrupting the routine that you currently have. We all have a routine. We're on autopilot. Look at your daily routine and what can you do to switch things up? What can you do to put yourself in new situations? Go on little adventures. What's an adventure? It could just be one day when you have a few hours off, walk out of your place, turn right, leave your phone at home, and walk in this direction for 30 minutes and get lost. And then find your way back. You put yourself in a situation now where adventurous things and new things can happen. And that gives you something more interesting to talk about. Instead of, well, I just went to my boring job, be like, so yesterday I went on an adventure. Like, what the fuck? I walked 30 minutes to the right. That's interesting. Okay? And what's funny with this too is that the cheaper you go, the more interesting it becomes. We think that a lot of money makes things interesting, but that's not true. A lot of money makes things a little bit more cushy. You know, if you take a travel experience, the experience traveling that'll give you the most stories to tell is the one where you spend the least amount of money. Okay? Take two situations. Someone goes to, let's say, from here to Europe, and they fly first class, the best fucking seat. You know, one of those planes where you have your private room and stuff. Now, is that a cool thing to say? I guess. But what do you really have to say? Well, I got in the plane, I got in my private room, and I was alone on the plane, and I passed out. It was a very comfortable flight. I passed out, and now I'm in Europe. Here's the other option. You get the cheapest seat on the plane, very back. People are talking. People are in line for the fucking bathroom. You can't sleep at all. But guess what? By doing so, now things can happen. You might start talking to someone in line. They might start talking to you. Now you get this interaction. This leads to something else, and now you have stories. The same with where you stay. You can stay at a very fancy hotel or go to a shitty-ass hostel with 7 other people in your room. What'll lead to more stories? You meet those people. Oh, ma, who are they? We're all going out on the town. Now you go out with them, and now you're in all these situations where adventures can happen. You just got to put yourself in those situations. Journal every time you laugh for a month. Literally, it kind of sneaks up on you. You're with your friends. You're like, ha, ha, ha. Wait a minute, guys. You must journal it. Journal what made you fucking laugh. Literally. Do this every day for a month. Then, say you journal 3 things a day. You have like a list of 90 things at the end of that month. Then look at the different themes. Compartmentalize it. Have different categories. Be like, ooh, there's this theme here. There's this type of humor here. There's this here. And those are your buttons that you can now push. Whenever I'm in an interaction, I know exactly how to make myself feel good and laugh because whatever they say, I know the buttons within me. I know my humor in and out. I can take it, be creative, and use it as a way to push one of those buttons. Makes me feel good, goes back onto them. They feel good, and it's a win-win. Okay? Now, going even deeper than that, it's more than just the words. There are different levels of communication. Okay? On a very surface level, there's what you say. And this is where we really obsess over it. We're like, what makes us interesting, what makes us high value is the content. But no, the content is a very small percentage. And this is also what allows me to just keep flowing and being able to have comebacks, being able to just be in the moment, because I'm not too paranoid about the word to word. Okay? Why? Because the data is in the vibe. Let's say you want to hire someone for a very important task and your life depends on it. Okay? Are you going to hire someone just based on reading a resume? There's a resume of who that person is, written word. You never met the person, you see a picture and a resume. Are you going to hire them based on that? No. When you meet them in person, are you going to hire them just based on what they say, just on one interview? No. You're going to get a certain feel for them. You want to experience them. You're going to look at the vibe, right? That's what people are doing when they meet you. We get also paranoid. What do I say? What's my line? It doesn't matter. That person's not looking at the line. There's not enough data in the line. There's the data in the way you deliver that line, in the subcommunications, in the vibe that's underneath it. That's where the data is. That's how they get to know you. The words are simply the vehicle for that person to experience you. So words don't matter. I'll even fumble different words. Doesn't matter as long as the vibe is there. Even in terms of comebacks. If they say something like a playful joke, comeback could just be like, well, I don't know. but if you just say it in a certain tonality, I don't know, or it doesn't have to make sense, like red, white, green, it's a good fucking comeback because the tonality and timing is there. This also allows me to not run out of things to say because I'm not too worried. It also allows me to just keep flowing and be a little less logical with what I'm saying, which makes it more interesting as opposed to always analyzing, like, how do I segue into this now? What would make logical sense? Doesn't matter. I focus on the vibe. That's where the data is. That's what creates that comfort and value. Words are simply the vehicle for the other person to experience you. Okay? Now, one thing with this too, this is where congruence testing comes into play. I'm sure you know what that is, right? Different little tests. Like a person might test you, be like, yeah, or like challenge you or tease you or mock you. And we think it's bad. We're like, why are they doing this? Look, if they didn't like you, they wouldn't do this. No one's going to do that to someone they don't like. No one's going to randomly be like, start testing someone they're not interested in. You test someone to make sure they are who they present themselves to be. It means they are interested. If you go up and you meet someone, it's like, oh shit, who's that person? Wait a minute, are they really that person? Test, test, test. How do they react under pressure? How do they react when I withdraw some of my approval? How do they react when I tease them? Do they get butthurt? What's going on there? The same with you in that interview. If you're going to interview someone and your life depends on it, you're not just going to take their word for that, you're also going to test them. How do they act under pressure? Right? People do that to each other in an interaction. Don't get thrown off, don't think it's bad. It's just an opportunity for you to reinforce that you are who you present yourself to be. An opportunity to build value. So those are the first two layers. The words, how you say the words. The third layer underneath it all is the intention behind it. You can also practice at home, as I just said, without talking. How can you communicate different things without the words? Okay? Facial expressions is a big one. A lot of my communication is in my face. My face moves like fucking crazy. And unfortunately, due to the way that we're conditioned, a lot of us, our face is just like stiff. Learn how to bring some movement in it. Look at yourself in the mirror. There's a good exercise. Look at what you look like when you smile. A lot of us, we think when we smile, we're like, I'm smiling like crazy. But in reality, you just come off like this. That's it. You know, it's like, I can't smile more than that. I've seen it for years teaching dating and socializing. I'm like, smile. And the guy's like, I'm like, more. He's like, but my cheeks hurt. I'm like, I don't give a fuck. You know, it's like, that is something to cultivate. A great TV show that actually, well, a great TV show, a very corny TV show that taught me a lot of this was The Vampire Diaries. This is an old school little teen flick show. But there's this one actor in it, Ian Somerhalder. And his acting is so fucking over-exaggerated, it is insane. Like for any little emotion he's trying to communicate, he's going to exaggerate the fuck out of it. You'll see his eyebrows go like all these different ways, his face, his eyes, his blinking. He just subcommunicates things massively. And just seeing that a lot, it actually kind of started rubbing off on me. And then I started implementing it, changed everything. Okay? But you can also do it in front of the mirror. Like, I can't talk, how do you communicate anger? Most people are just like, supposed to. There's a lot more expressiveness there. Okay? The difference, like, I'm angry, to way more expressiveness. If you can't do that, there's some shit to unlock. Okay? That's even more valuable than the first two layers. What you say, how you say it, the intention behind it. Okay? And then you could add even a fourth layer, and you could say that this is your level of self-esteem. If you're into spiritual work, you could say this is your vibration, just the general aura that you have. Are you someone who's high self-esteem or not? And then, of course, this is the most important. We feel that immediately. It dictates all the rest. But get in touch with all four of these. Don't just rely on what you say. If you're just focusing on this one, it's the smallest percentage. It's the one where you get the least ROI.